everybody. It's been a minute. It's been several weeks since I've vlogged. Good morning. How's your year going? My year is going great so far. I can't complain. I do complain, but I shouldn't because I'm blessed. Everything is going great. I made it to my last semester of nursing school. And if you watched my previous vlogs from my last semester, you know that I was this close to not passing, and I made it, and I'm here, and I'm so happy about that. But yeah, this semester's going well. These are my classes. I have leadership and management, where we learn sort of about like delegating things to assistive personnel and LPNs, and I have community health, which has a clinical too, so it's 2 classes. So we have to do community health hours, which is like volunteer hours. So I'm doing that this weekend, and I'm excited because I have done volunteer work, but not by my own. Well, I mean, it was never, like, no one ever obligated me to. But I've never done it like at a food bank, which is where we're gonna go this weekend. I've never done a food bank. It's more been like helping people with paperwork and things like that. Then the 3rd class is med-surg, ICU. This is like the critical care component of med-surg. So that's really the only class that I'm super concerned about this semester. The other classes have work, but they're not so book heavy, you know? The concepts are easier to grasp. Med-surg, it's just always hard. Med-surg is always hard. So anyway, those are the 3 classes. Med-surg and community health both have clinicals, so those are like 4 classes. I thought there were 6. No, maybe not, just 5. So those 2 with their clinicals plus leadership. Speaking of overwhelm, I had a video talking about some symptoms that I was having last semester, and it was just all of the, like, I'm convinced now because I went to the doctor and got some lab work and a physical exam, and from what was visible, there was nothing wrong. Like, my thyroid was normal, like all of my markers for everything were normal. My iron was back to normal, which, like, for a really long time I had been really anemic, so that was back to normal, probably because I'm eating more meat and liver, just saying. Iron pills never helped me. So anyway, I was having like hair loss. That went away like a week ago. I haven't had any palpitations lately. Like, every now and then I will, when I have like a scare, you know, which I didn't have before. So I don't know if that's just like residual anxiety. I don't know. Or if that's normal. I don't really know. But I don't have it every day. I don't have it when I'm not supposed to. Like, I would feel like this flutter in my chest randomly last semester. It would kind of take my breath away a little bit. I kind of had to think of my breathing and try to calm down, because just randomly I would get these flutters. That went away. And the weight loss plateaued. Like, I lost it really quickly. Within like a month, I lost 10 pounds. Didn't even notice. It was during a time when I was so overwhelmed by schoolwork that I don't think I talked to family, but my mom, because she comes over to take care of Tiago. I don't think I talked to family. Like, that month probably was the roughest of my whole semester last semester, so that probably had a little to do with me losing the weight. But also my diet. I'm pretty sure, because I've been stressed before like that at jobs and stuff, and it hadn't happened. So it's not just stress, that's for sure. Graduation plans. they're as is. I don't know if I've mentioned them like in detail before in a vlog. I think I've like sort of mentioned it, but not really spelled it out in detail. I am pretty sure that I'm going to stay at home until my second and probably last child, probably, right, you never know, and probably last child is old enough to go to school, whether that's 3 or 4 or 5. And then I'm gonna go to work, because the way that I can see that it is now, just on social media, nurses that I've been following for years on YouTube and Instagram and things like that, and it's not looking good, people. Like, even if you don't know anything about healthcare, you know that a ratio of 1 to 13, okay, 1 nurse for 13 patients. And the worst that I've heard is 1 nurse to 24 patients in an emergency room. That's deadly. That's deadly, and in my opinion should be illegal. And no one should do that. Like, that's deadly to the patients. And the nurse could lose her license, because something is bound to go wrong. Like, you can't look at 24 emergent cases and do fine. Like, every single patient could be critical. Something's gonna happen that doesn't need to happen. So I don't know. It's just insane, and people are quitting, and probably for many other reasons other than the dangerous staff ratios, but that probably has a lot to do with it. I don't know, and I just don't want to go into it right now. It scares me to go into healthcare right now. But of course, I'm not staying at home for that reason. If I didn't have children, I would go straight into work, but probably not into an emergency room. And I would sure as heck not go somewhere if I felt that my license was already being jeopardized right after I got it. Anytime I feel like my license is being jeopardized, I hope that I'll have the courage to say no. No, I won't take that assignment. No, I won't take on the 10th patient. Absolutely not. Something's gonna happen. And just anyone who doesn't know anything about healthcare, it's just like, if you have your license, you alone are responsible for your license. The hospital that you work for, the facility that you work for, the doctor that you work under, they don't take any responsibility for your actions. If the doctor ordered it, but you gave them medication and killed the patient, it's your license that's taken. The doctor probably gets some repercussions, yes, because that was a bad order, but you implemented it. You're also trained to know that this was dangerous. And even if you weren't trained in school to know that was dangerous, even if you don't remember, you were trained to look in the drug book before you gave anything to your patient. Now, with 24 patients, do you think anyone has time to look at every single medication, every single time they give it to someone? No. So that's what I'm saying. Things can go wrong that just are not necessary, and one can lose their license for that reason. So, but it's sad that a lot of nurses are, in that position, and are put in that position every single day, and not everyone can afford to quit their job. Even if that's the right thing to do, because it's maybe a hospital that just is like abusive in that way, that will demand you to take these assignments, otherwise you're done. Not everyone can afford to lose their job to just like quit and say no. So I don't know. These are just things that I'm kind of like thinking more and more of as I'm getting closer to graduating. I'm so excited. I graduated in May, just in case I hadn't said that. If everything goes well.
Say what you wanna say to me now.